Hey guys, thank you for watching Aim for Survival. Today we're going to be talking about a legend, and that is the Condor Bushlore. Stay tuned. Okay everybody, I'd like to go over just a few quick notes about the Condor Bushlore. It is heavily touted as one of the best bushcraft knives for the budget. It is a $40 knife. You can find it on Amazon or condortk.com. It does have a 9 5/16 overall blade length, a 4 5/16 cutting edge. It weighs about 0.77 pounds, so it's a lightweight option. Comes with a durable sheath, handmade, heavy-duty leather with a nice thick welt inside of it. Good retention. It does not rattle. It will not fall out. As it is broke in, you will notice it will slide in and out easier. Do not worry about the knife sliding against the welt. It in itself will hone the knife just a little bit every time you go in, almost like stropping. I love the sheath. I really do. Back to the knife. It is a full tang fixed blade knife with a Scandi edge. I've already used this just a little bit today. You do have Condor on one side, Bushlore on the other, and it says it was made in El Salvador, which is not a problem. I've been told that they have German manufacturers go down to El Salvador and make these knives, show them the processing techniques, and they do harden this to a Rockwell between 50 and 55, which is kind of a loose reference, but all that really means is that it does have a strong metal, a high carbon steel metal, so it will rust. You will need to keep it oiled. But also that'll be easy to maintain in the field. However, it may lose its edge through abuse if you're not stropping it regular. All right, let's get to the test, guys. Okay, and to start off this test, we are going to start with just simple carving. I do have a nice size, probably inch in diameter stick. We're going to do just a few common notches. First, we're going to do us a small L7. This is probably one of the more common notches used in bushcraft, and as this is a bushcrafting knife, it performed this notch with ease. Clean up our work just a little bit. So you have your L7. Next, let's try a log cabin notch. Choose a smaller baton here. Made really quick work of the log cabin notch, cleaning it up just a little bit. Very little effort so far. Just so you can see that this knife is super sharp. It makes quick work of this green sapling. We can produce the flats that we need for trap triggers, possibly a deadfall, with little to no effort at all. Throwing off large curls rather quickly. Okay, next we're going to try a few different cuts. This handle, being as ergonomical and comfortable as it is, should have no trouble being turned around backwards. Using our chest lever cut, chose a piece with a knot, so it is a little bit of a challenge, guys. Definitely making quick work. Turning it around, we can add a point onto here. If we were making a steak, we would pretty much be done. Okay, now that we've took the major materials off, we can come back and clean up our work. This blade is chewing through the wood. It's got a very good bite, and again, I have not sharpened this myself yet. It is hair popping sharp, straight out of the factory. Now of course, any good blade you use is more like a multi-tool. The back part of this knife can be used in several ways, one of which is fire tinder processing. What I have here is a little bit of cedar. It's down and it's been wet. However, scraping the back of this knife you can tell immediately we have some super fine curls produced. We'll take these, set them aside for later. Giving you just a closer view. That sharp 90-degree spine makes quick work of the cedar branch. Pro tender right there. Alright, let's see if we can do some baton work with this. Now the cutting surface on this knife is below 5 inches. The cedar branch we're using is about 2.5 to 3 inches. We're going to try to split it down the middle, try to access the dry material inside. The outside of this is wet from the rains last night, but should not be any problem. Some people say you should never baton a knife. I disagree. If you have limited tools and foul weather, guys, sometimes you're going to need to. All right, we've got us a good, nice, even split. Let's go ahead and process this down just a little bit further. Okay. So far so good. No chips or rolls in the middle. Quick tip, go ahead and take any of these long outer strands of bark, set them aside. You can rough them up into a bird nest later. Okay, that one is a little larger than I probably should have done. However, wouldn't be an accurate test if we didn't give it a little effort. All right, did exceptional during that test. That was more what I'd call an abuse test. With that said, the tip does look good. I see no chips on the edge. Surprisingly, no marks on the spine yet. So I believe that rumor of the 1075 being an inadequate steel so far has been debunked. However, only time will tell. Okay, as you see before me, it definitely can baton with ease. The inside of these branches are very dry. Smell good. You can smell the oils inside the wood. See if it can do some feather sticking. Definitely making the larger pieces. Let's try for the finer ones. I do notice a lot of notches in this wood, which means it will probably break off. It does have a very nice bite to the knife. So far we are getting little curls. Even after all the batoning we've done, it's still getting a good grip onto the wood. A good bite, as I've heard it called. Almost too good. Let's lighten up on it just a little bit. There we are. Let the tool do the work. Finding that side edge or angle every time. And reposition this into a fixed position on my knee. Use the longer muscles in the back of my arm for the smoother draw. No, you can't see it from there yet, but we are getting some beautiful little wisps in here. The spear tip design, when utilized, is actually very good for feather sticking. So far so good. I honestly feel that the Bushlore is quite capable of much finer feathers. Just the lightest grip possible. Just barely letting it touch the wood. I found that this sharp, high carbon steel Scandi ground blade is definitely up to the task of feather sticking. I can see why a lot of people have fallen in love with this knife so far. You just have to take your time, figure out the sweet spots on this blade. You can come up with drastically finer tenders. These would catch from a fire steel very easy. Honestly, one of the best feather sticking knives I've played with in a long time, especially in the budget category. Now, of course, once you start dealing with your $100, $150 knives, you will get much more consistent results. But from a blade straight out of the box, guys, didn't have to hone it, strop it, or anything. But with that said, this 1075 is a little softer than the 1095 we're all used to hearing about, seeing, playing with. So you will have to sharpen this in the field a little more often. With that said, if you strop it after every use, you shouldn't have any trouble at all. And the benefits of it being a 1075 are that sharpening in the field will be a breeze. So there you go, guys. One fluffy feather stick. Okay, back down to the stump, guys. Let's talk about your 90-degree spine just a little further. You can take it, and instead of feather sticking, say that is not your favorite or a skill you like, just take that 90-degree spine and you can make super fine little wisps. This blade is actually producing them very, very well, although some of them are on the back side. Take a new side here. Within no time at all, we have all the pieces we need to start a fire with natural tinders. Try to get as many fluffs or small curls in there as possible before you begin. Whoops. Okay guys, this knife has worked like a dream so far. I want to give just a small fire demonstration. You could almost call this a one-stick fire challenge if you wanted to, though that's not what I was aiming for at the beginning of this. Just going to get some small tinders here to represent the beginnings of the fire. Alright. Let's see if that 90-degree spine, after all the abuse we've put it through, still strikes a very cheap, easy to find fire still. This is one with the magnesium. If we were to have trouble, we could use the magnesium side. However, I don't think we're going to need it. Let's give it a shot. Of course, at this point, we would not want to overload this fire. Give it time to do its work. All in all, I do have to say the Condor Bushlore has exceeded my expectations. About to shield this from the wind just a little bit, guys. Okay everybody, so just a quick recap. We have made notches with this blade. We have batoned with this blade. We have feathered with it. Started a fire with it. All in all, the knife has took the abuse we have given it. Focusing on the edge, I do have no rolls or chips. The spine took quite a bit of abuse. I do have some rough spots. That's no big deal. They can be taken care of with a diamond hone or a file later at the house. But as far as getting you through a night in the woods, I have no doubt that this would be an excellent knife for bushcrafters, woodsmen, beginning students in survival. As far as like children are concerned, definitely very comfortable carry on your belt. I do wish it come with a ferro rod attachment. However, I think Condor has another option. We'll show you in another day. I definitely love this sheath. I've seen similar sheaths go for $40 themselves. As notice, our fire's going out here behind me. Let's get it going again. Real quick fix, no problem. Moreover, the knife handle was very, very comfortable, durable. I've seen some abuse tests that just were not fair for the knife itself, but I do believe we've given a quick and honest rundown of this knife. Well, I dare say this has been a very good example of a one-stick fire challenge using natural materials. Again, if we were really trying to sustain this fire, we wouldn't have it up on a stump, we'd have it on the ground, top of a wooden platform. Well guys, I'd like to thank you again for watching this Aim for Survival review of the Condor Bushlore. It exceeded my expectations. I've looked forward to reviewing this knife for a long time. You can find it on Amazon or at condortk.com, Condor Tool and Knife. I definitely want to give a huge shout out to the designer of this knife, Joe Flowers. If you watched to the end of this video, you will notice that I will be picking up several of his knives in the coming months. If y'all haven't already, smash your like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and as always when you watch Aim for Survival, don't miss.